My name is Alex Lubinsky and I am CEO and co-founder of Rentberry. We started the company more than 2 years ago with the idea to build an absolutely closed-loop rental platform where all of the rental tasks can be done in one place. Since then, we developed a product which is being used by hundreds of thousands of people across the United States. We're featured in the top media and also raised $4 million from top-profile investors.
So as more and more people lean towards rent, it makes sense that you need a better engine for managing that. And a lot of the people that we find in the urban areas that are becoming renters are of the age and lifestyle and background such that they prefer web-related apps. And so to be able to do that is a viable thing that I thought was very good for investing.
Today, I want to introduce you a new chapter in Rentberry's life, which we have been working on already for some time. It is a decentralized global rental ecosystem powered by the blockchain technology. The new platform will have absolutely no boundaries, but at the same time, one very key and powerful element, which is communal backing.
In Rentberry, we look for scalable, innovative, and ideally disruptive solutions with a global market potential. We look for a leadership team who are smart, driven, and open-minded individuals with a good sense of humor. And ideally, we like to find companies who are on the cusp of establishing monetization. So Rentberry checked all those boxes and more for us. So yeah, we're happy to invest and happy to be part of the team.
There is more than $500 billion blocked in rental security deposits worldwide. At the same time, more than $35 trillion is sitting in the banks, generating only 0.06% interest rate. So on one side, you have millions of people who freeze a lot of capital, and on the other side, you have millions of people who are looking for better ways to invest their capital. So we want to allow communal backing of rental security deposits on our platform, thus unblocking billions of dollars to people who need this capital the most, and at the same time democratizing access to investing. There are a couple of things which we have done to make this happen. First of all, we developed a new cryptocurrency. It is an ERC20 token powered on Ethereum blockchain. Essentially, it allows for all of the rental tasks to be done much more faster, cheaper, and secure. Secondly, we want the community to back quality tenants and in return receive rewards. Tenants will be able to save up to 90% in rental security deposits, and community members, which can be anybody, family, friends, landlords, can generate in excess of 5% in rewards for backing those tenants. We hope you will become part of the global rental platform powered on blockchain. Join us and let's make it happen together.
Alrighty, guys. My name is Anthony Scarpulla, and I am here today with Alex Lubinsky, the CEO and founder of Rentberry. Rentberry is a fully decentralized global rental ecosystem powered by blockchain technology, poised to create a truly transparent and seamless rental experience for both landlords and tenants alike. They just launched their public ICO on December 5th, and it's currently underway till the end of February. Alex, thanks for being here.
Yep, my pleasure.
Yeah, so would you mind just starting off by telling us a bit about your background? You know, what led you into the crypto blockchain space?
Sure. So I'm a finance guy by profession. Was an investment banker for many years, as a matter of fact, working at different continents in the United States and Europe. And more than 2 years ago, my partners and I, we actually decided to build a Rentberry. So the absolutely closed-loop rental platform. Like nowadays, there are a whole bunch of what they call themselves rental platforms, but essentially they are all classifieds where they show you pictures, show you description of the properties, but that's about it. And after this, users, tenants, and landlords needs to go still through lots of manual tasks, filing out paper applications, participating in under-the-table bidding wars, sending paper checks and things like that. So our goal at that time, again, more than 2 years ago, was to build an absolutely closed system where all of the rental tasks would be done in one place. And we did it. As a matter of fact, in April of this year, we became nationwide. So the platform available in more than 5,000 cities across the United States. We have hundreds of thousands of users, almost 250,000 properties. processed more than 4,000 applications already. And, it's very interesting because since April, we started to receive hundreds of emails from people, not just from the United States, as a matter of fact, but from all over the world. Some of them were asking, like, guys, love the platform, when you will be in our home country, like in Europe or in Australia, New Zealand. And some of them were asking, like, help us to solve the problem with the rental security deposits. And then, like, well, that's kind of interesting, and many people actually, kind of wrote about this and asked us to look at this more deeply. And so we did extensive research, and we realized a couple of interesting facts, that almost $500 billion is blocked in long-term rental security deposits. And usually, this money is locked for more than 20 years, from the time people graduate university at the age of 21 till they buy their first property at the age of 43, 45, they rent. They can switch different landlords, but the point is that they still rent, and this money is frozen. So with the blockchain and smart contracts, this is the only technology which allows essentially to unlock this huge pile of cash. And the way we unlock it is through the crowdfunding. So the community members, and it can be anybody, tenants, landlords, friends, family, just random people who will sign up on the platform in order to financially back tenants. They can, they can help out tenants and pay a portion, essentially, of their rental security deposits and get interest rate in return. So that's kind of the application of the blockchain, even though we're tokenizing the whole platform. But this is kind of the main driver for us to look at the blockchain and smart contracts space.
Right. Wow. Well, yeah. So you just kind of, you kind of tackled a couple of the next questions I already had lined up. So, I mean, you already told us the problem you're looking to solve. And then, like you said, you guys have been a company since 2015. You've already raised $4 million from angel investors. You're listed over 5,000 cities, over 120,000 users, right? So to backtrack a little bit, what are some of the main differences between the earliest incarnation of the Rentberry platform, when you guys started a couple of years ago, and obviously the new blockchain powered model, and then when and what kind of inspired you guys to take this new approach and totally switch it up?
Well, so we released the platform. It was going like in stages. So initially, it was just kind of the auctioning technology, which allowed for people to go through the transparent application process, not to participate in under-the-table bidding wars, but actually see the competition, see who's else offering what, essentially, and make educated decision and submit customizable offers to the landlords. And by customizable offers, I mean customizing rental price and rental security deposits. And then we build a closed loop solution, added lots of other functionality, including besides having a transparent application process, we added ability to sign electronically rental agreements, to do the rental payments through the platform, do maintenance requests through the platform. All of the information, including documents, is stored in the cloud and accessible 24/7. What else? Yeah, so that's kind of the development. And now we are, since we became nationwide, we are implementing blockchain and smart contracts technology in order to help people even more save time and money by saving up to 90% of rental security deposits for the tenants.
Right on. Yeah. So in terms of the target market initially, obviously you guys are all over the world, but are you focusing more on like certain countries and pushing it, in that regard? Like, are you focusing more in Europe or America or both? Or?
Well, right now we're nationwide in the United States. In next year, we will expand to the English-speaking countries first, including Australia. Let me close the Skype. So including Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and UK. But then, the idea is to expand to all the developed countries, including European Union and other countries in the European Union. Yeah.
And then how are you going about, actually reaching out and getting the existing different, apartment rental companies and just apartment complexes throughout different cities. How are you going to reach out to them and make sure that they end up on the Rentberry platform? Is there a plan for that,
Yeah, I mean, there is a number of things we implement through mass emailing, approaching through real estate association, members of those associations, through the property management companies who manage lots of properties on behalf of landlords, approaching, just single family landlords who are looking for the properties to rent. And there was a whole bunch of databases of those landlords participating in the real estate conferences. So there's lots of different approaches like MLS, multiple listing services where agents and brokers participate in the United States, like aggregators essentially of agents and brokers. So yeah, lots of different ways. Each and every one of those is kind of works the magic, but yeah. Cool.
So another thing I really found interesting about you guys is you've created your own unique proprietary scoring system, right? That's designed to create a sense of transparency between the landlord and the tenant. Can you just tell us a bit about how that works and where it's pulling all the different data from and how it's different from the typical, checks that happen when you're applying as is?
So, the reason we decided to do this is because historically people relying on the credit scores, but credit scores initially were developed specifically for financial industry. So they're looking only at things like, okay, do you have a credit card? What kind of debt you have? Did you defaulted on the credit card payments? And that's pretty much it. So they do not really show you how the quality of a tenant you are, because just because you defaulted on your credit card payment when you were a student does not mean that you are a bad tenant. And maybe somebody who has excellent credit score, might actually damage the place and then trash the place. So there's lots of other factors like reviews and ratings by prior landlords. That's kind of some of those. And any public information, kind of information from the social networks. So the idea is that we want to match, how many people do you know and landlord knows, either intersection between kind of the connections which you have in the social media, including LinkedIn and Facebook and things like that. Eviction history, were you evicted in the past, criminal history, any criminal offenses, things like that. And our goal is to, analyze this information essentially and exactly, provide kind of a simple format, tenant score for the landlords. But at the same time, our goal is also to provide the landlord score for the tenants. And the idea is that, sometimes landlords, they violate privacy. They can show up at the place without calling first and then things like that. So we want to make sure that the tenants, the future tenants that, will rent the place are aware of the situation. And that's why the landlords will be reviewed and rated as well by prior tenants.
Wow, cool. Yeah, I like that feature. It's kind of like, I don't know if you're familiar with Rate My Professor, the website.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that for the landlords. Yeah. That's neat. Yeah. And is that feature going to be ready to roll as soon as, I know you're building an app for Rentberry that you're going to launch, I think in Q1 of next year, right?
Yep.
So is all this going to be built right in as soon as
No, it will be done in stages. So the application will be done, and then our goal is to essentially implement the crowdfunding rental security deposits through the smart contracts and blockchain. And after this, essentially release the tenant and landlord score. Yeah, so everything will be done in stages. Right,
cool. So if you could tell me a little bit, you kind of touched on it earlier with the auctioning technology for bidding on apartments. If you could just explain exactly how that'll work and, how it's an obvious upgrade over the existing model. And then also, when you're bidding, are you bidding using the Berry tokens only, or for right now, since I don't think that's an option, correct? Is it just fiat currency?
It is. So yeah, the Berry tokens will be done next year once the ICO will be over. So in terms of right now it's done in the fiat, exactly. And historically, people, when you want to apply for the property, you have no idea how many people are there and how many people you're competing against. So you can go to the open house, you can see 20 people at the open house, but the chances that you will apply maybe the next day, maybe in a couple of days, maybe the same evening, because you probably will check out and analyze some other places as well. And so the thing is that once you're ready to apply, you have no data points. You have no idea who else have applied for the property and who offered what to the landlord. So that's why you usually participate in under the table kind of bidding wars. Our idea is essentially to make this process much more transparent, so everyone knows exactly what's happening. And it's kind of win-win situation, because this way a landlord can get kind of the true maximum price which market is willing to pay, at any given point of time. And the tenants are able essentially to have a transparent process, knowing exactly what's happening and what they need to offer in order to get the place. And so we do not disclose any confidential information, right? So we only provide data points, such as there is 5 applicants, average rental price is $700. Average rental deposit was submitted $750 or maybe $1,000. And then we also zoom in kind of on each applicant, again, without disclosing any information, such as applicant 1, he applied with a roommate, with pets, like with a dog, and this is what he offered. And so that's how you can kind of relate where you fit between those applicants and what else you need to offer in order potentially to get this place.
Wow. So it's going to be, so say, I'm trying to rent this apartment in Colorado, in Denver, whatever. Like you said, I'll be able to see the mean and median kind of price points. I'm not going to be able to see the exact highest though, right?
You will be able to see all of the points, as a matter of fact. Okay. So if you want to rent, a place in Colorado, you can go to the application. Even right now, you can see that there are 4 people applied for this property. You can see that the applicant A, he submitted $1,000 in rental price, $2,000 in rental security deposit. He has a credit score of 750. You can see that applicant B, this has that much information, and so you can relate it to yourself. If you have an excellent credit score, right? So you're not really supposed to offer much, because you're kind of better tenant essentially. Maybe you're applying by yourself. There is no kind of 20 roommates, which you have no pets, for example, right? Things like that. So maybe you can even ask for a discount, because you're just a much better tenant for this specific landlord.
Yeah, that's really great. Is there going to be kind of like a chat or messaging feature as well, so you could actually communicate?
We do have it. So you can always talk already to the landlord on the platform. So the platform is live. So you can, if you want to connect with any of the landlords, you can, shoot a message and communicate inside the platform with the landlords. Yes.
And is there going to be any kind of limit on the number of times you can change your bid on a certain apartment? Or
there is no limit, but we do make notifications. So in case somebody outbid you or offered you more, not you, but offer the landlord more money, you will be notified as same as everyone else, saying that there is another applicant and this is what the other applicant offered, and you will have a chance to change your offer as well.
Awesome, cool. So yeah, I wanted to move on and talk a bit more about the crowdsourced security deposit feature. So you obviously touched on it a little bit, but yeah, just go in depth a bit more about that. And you did mention, friends, family, even the landlords could help chip in. Like you said, even people could just create accounts for Rentberry just to gain interest off of helping people sorts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how it works. So, $35 trillion is actually sitting in the banks, like in savings and checking accounts, generating really small, like miserable, like 0.1%, right? Really, really small. And people are looking for ways to invest this capital, right? So people participate in stock markets. They invest in bonds and stocks. Some of them buy real estate, but it's really expensive. So, you need to have a lot of cash in order to buy real estate. We all see what's happening with the Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's because people actually do invest in those cryptocurrencies. So people looking for other ways to diversify capital. And essentially through this functionality and feature, we offer them this opportunity where they can go to the platform and they can, not just make money, but have also like social purpose, help out other individuals. So they can pick and choose the tenants which they want to help. For example, there might be a teacher in San Francisco. She lives in a really expensive neighborhood, and she wants to save on rental security deposits piece, and she wants to crowd fund 90% of that rental security deposit. So you can actually, see her profile, and maybe if you want to help her, you can say, hey, I'll give you $50 at 2% interest rate, and things like that. So this teacher, she will get all of those offers from all of those different individuals. Somebody from Australia might say, hey, I'll give you $75 at 5% interest rate. Somebody from Germany might offer her $300 at 1% interest rate. And the reason the offers will be different is because different people have different cost of capital. And it's never the same. For somebody's will offer 2% interest rate, somebody 3, 4, 5, and things like that. So this teacher, she will be able to pick and choose kind of the best offers from those individuals, and that's how she will be able essentially to save and crowdfund up to 90% of her rental security deposits. And on the other hand, the individuals who submitted offers, and if they are chosen and selected, they will be able to get the interest rate, which is much, much higher than the money just sitting in the bank and just just sitting there, not generating any profit whatsoever.
Yeah, no, that's great. And then obviously the potential tenant has to pay the 10% upfront minimum, right?
Yeah, 10% upfront minimum. That's kind of like a deductible. So in case anything gets damaged or broken in the property, the first amount of money that will be spent to fix this is essentially 10%, which is locked from the tenant.
Right. And then is there a set time frame that the tenant has to pay the other investors, back by?
It's the way, since we have absolutely visibility into the rental agreements and into the rental process, we know exactly the duration of the rental contract, from which time it starts till which time it lasts. So we know exactly the duration of the interest rate payments, when they start and essentially when they end. So the interest rate payments will be paid on a quarterly basis to the community members which made backing, financial backing. So yeah. Cool. It really depends. If the contract is signed for 2 years, it will be paid. Interest rate will be paid for 2 years. If it's for 1 year, then the interest rate will be paid for 1 year.
Right. And then if say you wanted to just forego the whole crowdsourcing route, could you just pay it all yourself in terms of the deposit? You
have an option. So it's really like the idea of the platform is that, again, we provide flexibility and transparency, right? We provide transparency with the application process. We provide flexibility in terms of having all of the rental tasks to be done in one place, saving a lot of time and valuable time and money, as a matter of fact. And with the crowdfunding of rental security deposits, the same. Like we provide ability to save money. Basically, if somebody wants to save upfront thousands and thousands of dollars, they can by using this functionality.
Awesome. So yeah, now I want to just talk about a little bit of the Berry token. What's the actual functionality of it? Obviously, you're going to be able to pay rent, and I think it said in your roadmap you're going to be able to pay the bills by, I think, 2020, right? Using the Berry token? Yeah,
so absolutely. So the whole platform will be tokenized. So people will be able to do lots of things, pay rent, pay for the applications, rental applications. Landlords will be able to pay for the property promotion. like a Google AdWords. Essentially, the property will be highlighted, on the website, be at the top, and crowdfunding of the rental security deposits. People will be able to utilize Berry tokens in order to help out other tenants and receive interest rate on those Berry tokens. Third-party service providers. So we want incorporate and integrate with other platforms in the space and essentially allow for the tenants and landlords to pick and choose kind of third-party service providers like handyman, house cleaners, painters, plumbers, electricians, things like that. In case anything will get broken, you can really pick and choose really easily third-party kind of service provider and hire them and make sure everything will get fixed on time and pay in Berry tokens. And then the bills as well. So so the idea is that we will be starting, partnering with large companies like PG&E, for example, in order to process, rental payments in tokens as well in the future.
Great. So I love the idea of obviously being able to pay for your apartment, pay for your bills in crypto, right? Is there ever going to be a time when you guys are going to allow people to pay in Bitcoin or Ethereum, or is it always going to be solely the Berry token?
Berry tokens, yeah.
Right. And then in terms of
you can change Bitcoin and buy Berry tokens and make a payment this way. Yeah.
Right. Is there going to be any kind of, the first thing that popped in my head was maybe having like Shapeshift built into the app where you could easily just, turn your Bitcoin right into Berry right there on the app or the website itself. Is there any kind of plan for that just to make it easy?
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. That's in the future, definitely. That's something which we are discussing with our developers. Yep, to make the process much more easier and flexible for the people to use the platform. Absolutely.
Right. Cool. Another question. Like I said Denver earlier because I'm looking to move to Denver and I just searched Denver on the Rentberry site and I found only one apartment. I was like, oh man, I really want to jump on the Rentberry train. So when's there going to be more apartments listed in Denver?
Great question. In some cities we are big, like New York, Miami, for example, Los Angeles.
Right.
In some cities we are expanding. So, United States is a big country. So there's lots of states, lots of cities, but there's lots of potential as well. So soon we will have more and more properties in Denver as well.
Yeah, no, it's a great apartment. I'm like, I actually might consider
renting this one.
Yeah, you guys are based out of San Francisco, right?
We are based in Soma District in San Francisco. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And have you been getting a lot of San Fran apartments on the platform yet?
It's funny. We never actually kind of took the San Francisco area as the primary market. So we decided to kind of try from other locations as well. It just happened this way. So we do have quite some properties in San Francisco, but it was never our kind of priority to, hey, let's expand here. So we thought first to go somewhere else because we always knew that San Francisco is so nearby that we can always kind of do things here.
In your backyard, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So, tell me a little bit more about the roadmap, if there's anything we didn't touch upon, and then obviously, to wrap it up, give us the download on, where to buy Berry tokens, how long the ICO is lasting until, any bonus structures going on right now.
Sure. So as you mentioned, ICO started on December 5th. It's initially due to the holidays. We were not sure, how the holiday season would play out with the Christmases and New Year's and things like that. So we decided to have it until February 28th. But probably it will be finalized much sooner. So the soft cap of 3 million was reached within less than 48 hours. We do have some really high-profile investors participating, including VC funds like Zing Capital in our ICO, former CEO of Synergo Private Equity, for example, and things like that. And right now it's a 33% bonus structure. I think it expires next week, if I remember correctly. We also have a private sale happening throughout our ICO. So if anybody wants to come in with a large check, 50,000 or more, we offer even higher bonuses. Mm-hmm. And for the private sale, the bonuses are between 60 and 80%. Again, depending on the amount, investment amount. So yeah, I mean, if anybody is interested, they can go to the ico.rentberry.com and go from there. We partnered with a company called Cryptonymous. They're doing book building platform. So everything is done through them, but the process is very easy. It takes seconds, essentially, to buy tokens. Yeah.
Right, and then if you hit the 30 million hard cap before the 28th, right? The sale will be over, correct?
It's done. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Cool. Well, awesome, man. Well, is there anything else that we didn't touch upon? I feel pretty good.
No, I'm good as well. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Well, yeah, thanks again for your time, and best of luck with Rentberry. We'll definitely be keeping tabs on you guys.
Yep. Thanks. All righty.
All right. Cool.
Yep. Bye.